Welcome to the next episode of All Things Business, the podcast. On this episode, we're joined by Rebecca and Martin, who are going to talk you through a journey that they've gone through from first meeting here in the podcast and going full circle to coming back around. So those of our listeners and viewers that didn't catch the podcast on creative marketing, Rebecca, if you just want to introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are.
My name is Rebecca Covington. I'm the marketing manager for Woodfines Solicitors.
Brilliant. And Martin?
And I'm Martin Carmody, managing director of Stratos Creative.
Lovely. So rewind back into 2022. We did a creative marketing podcast. We used to feature on sectors. We've obviously progressed into that now, but you guys didn't know each other then.
No.
And then, that podcast was a good one because I think it was quite informative. And then if we start off with the news for Woodfines, and then we'll come back into it. But talk us through what's been going on with Woodfines and obviously why we're on the podcast today to talk about that.
Well, we're going through quite a transition at the moment. We've totally overhauled our brand, which has been, I'd say the existing brand has been in existence since the 80s. So it was long overdue, basically.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So, and then Martin, people that we've known each other for a good few years, so I know fully what you're capable of and what you do. But then talk us through how Stratos have ended up coming into working with Woodfines on that rebrand.
Yeah, sure. So we're actually, it was very fortunate actually that probably about a month before the pitch process started and the response to a tender was published by Woodfines and Rebecca and her team. Rebecca and I met here, obviously on that marketing podcast, which gave us the opportunity to introduce each other. And it was fortuitous, really, that Woodfines actually engaged with Interdirect, who are another credible agency within Milton Keynes. And essentially Stratos support Interdirect on their brand and creative solutions. So we were brought into the conversation with Interdirect alongside Woodfines, obviously around the table. We were successful in that pitch process, which meant we could then move forward and work with Rebecca and her team and the other stakeholders to develop the brand. So that's kind of where the relationship started.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you walk through that door during the pitch.
I was just going to say that then. I was just waiting for Martin to finish because obviously meeting somebody for the first time is daunting, yeah? But then obviously meeting somebody for the first time to talk such a big transition, but also such a big pitch as well on what's going to occur. It
helped, I mean, because I obviously, we spoke during the last podcast and got a good idea of where Martin was in terms of branding, etc. So it pretty much sealed the deal when he walked through, and I thought, okay, then we know where we. It was good. Aspect. It was definitely reassuring. I mean, we knew Nick Mann, who obviously leads up Interdirect, anyway. So this is why we invited him and his team to tender, and then Martin and his team walking through just sort of sealed the deal.
Cool. So we'll talk about. Because we touched on it before we started recording, there's a lot of companies out there that either want to rebrand, need to rebrand, or have to rebrand. Talk us through the process on why Woodfines have chosen now,
sure.
But then also maybe the doubts internally about doing it, because it is such a big change. So we look at the positive and the negative.
It is massive, and it is an investment, but the rebrand is actually part of a broader, not restructuring in a sense, but there's been a lot of changes going on in Woodfines in the last sort of 12 to 24 months. We've overhauled a lot of our internal systems. We've re-looked at a lot of our sort of staff aspects, so how our working arrangements, sort of benefits for staff, really focusing inwards. And it was becoming very apparent that what we were sort of evolving and becoming as a firm wasn't reflected externally, which then there was a natural progression, if you like, for the rebrand. I joined the firm and sort of was itching to go on it. And I have to say there wasn't an awful lot of resistance. I thought I was going to have a much more of an uphill battle.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the sort of senior management team was already looking that in that direction. So what I think was a bit more of not a struggle, but was a little bit more different were the ideas that Stratos came up with.
Yeah.
They were very, very different, and we purposely partnered with Interdirect and Stratos because we did want something very unique and very different.
I think that's what it is. Again, you I'm no expert, but if you're gonna do something, I always say do it properly.
Yeah.
So don't make a little tweak. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Go large or go home.
Yeah,
Basically, it's something that we keep saying in the office. You know, be bold, be brave, and that was another reason why we wanted to work with these guys. It wasn't just a case of slapping a logo on and a new colour and going for it. They are very strategic driven. I don't know if Martin, if you want to talk through
definitely.
that process a little more.
And just touching on both of your points, actually, I think the key thing really with any rebrand is making sure that we're making informed decisions, and everything we're doing has got a bit of a purpose to it as well. So we do go through quite a rigorous process, and we make sure we have got the right people around the table, and we host discovery workshops. We'll look at the audience that we're trying to be attracted to, because obviously Woodfines itself has obviously grown and evolved as a business. Does the brand now reflect that, and is the proposition and the way we kind of project ourselves and have a narrative around the brand, is that fit for purpose for who we're trying to reach as an audience and target market?
So I was going to say, because obviously you've worked with some really well-known brands, and obviously Woodfines are well-known locally as well. But with Woodfines being that brand for, let's say, 40 years, is there a crossover of excitement plus a little bit of apprehension of changing that because it's been there for so long?
Yeah, I'm sure there was across. Woodfines is quite a large business, and they're key stakeholders. Everyone's going to have their own subjective view on what this could potentially manifest itself into. However, again, going back to the strategic part, I'm having a solid framework and get everybody's buy-in throughout the full process. That's the key thing, really. We don't move into the next phase of creative or building a brand until we have full buy-in and get the sign-off.
They absolutely did their homework, and I knew that when I was presenting to the management team their ideas, that I would have an answer for every question. So why is the logo looking like that? Why have you chosen that particular colour palette? And Stratos had really considered every aspect, and it wasn't just because it's fashionable, it looks nice. It is modern. I will tell you that much. It is very modern.
So I haven't seen it myself yet.
No,
I'm talking about it. I haven't seen it. So I did. Something popped up on LinkedIn, and I thought, oh, there it is. And I thought, oh no, it's still not there. So it is. It's building for me. It's building that excitement.
We've been having some teasers going along, some social media teasers, just to get our audience interested.
I like it. So we've got the kick-off meeting, and then the process has started, and obviously there's a change to the brand. It evolves Woodfines, and it's looking forward to the future. But talk us through that process going forward, because obviously now it's nearly done and the next stages are ready. But just talk us through like highs, lows, of what you've gone through during that period for both of you, because obviously you need to look at it from both sides.
One of the major highs for us, we launched it internally back in sort of early summer to really get our people on board with it, because they are our brand. They really needed to embrace it. So we did have a few sort of nervous moments, shall we say, thinking, because it's their brand and they really care about it. And like I say, it is very different where they're going to like it. And we pulled together a video to sort of, we had a party and we dressed a room up and we sort of hid it from everybody. And we had a video launching it, if you like. And the moment that we could sort of, the team could sigh relief that it was going to be okay, well, the crowd's reaction to it, people were sort of actually, ooh, and oh, that's nice, and oh, I like that, and that was like...
Do you mind me asking, that was the whole team?
The whole firm.
The whole firm?
The whole firm,
okay.
Yeah. So
brave.
There.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, we'd involved a lot of people from across the firm throughout the process, the discovery workshops.
Yeah.
For example, because we wanted it to come from everybody. Okay. Again, we wanted that investment internally.
I think it's brilliant because we talk a lot on here and also in our office about the culture within the business. That you hit the nail on the head. Your people are your brand. So to get everybody's, and that could have gone one or two ways, I imagine.
We were prepared.
Yeah, I was going to say
we were ready.
Braver than I would have been, but you've got the culture right, and then that's signalled the firm's journey going forward as well. So yeah,
this is it again. I think the reaction was majority felt we were ready for it.
Yeah.
You know, we'd the existing brand had been around for so long that a lot of people were ready to move on. So yeah, it's come at a really good time, I would say, for the firm, especially as we are moving on, involving ourselves.
Yeah.
And now this is a proper reflection of who we are, I would say, and I believe all our people internally they get that.
Oh, that's brilliant to hear. It's refreshing because there's businesses out there that people are deemed as a number, not as a person. So their input isn't taken on board.
Yeah.
It's, what is it? Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
So to be able to switch that and to really think about your people and show that from the outside going forward and throughout the whole process, kudos to you, both of you. Well done.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, again, the designs truly reflect what we're about. So it's there's some strong messaging there, which will come out, and I won't say too much more on that.
Not too much.
But it is all about sort of putting our people first and putting our clients first. And it was, trying to capture how do we say we care without saying we care, because, everyone cares. That was a little bit of a cliche, but the guys come up with something very clever to address that.
And on the creative side for you, Martin, and the team, obviously, I'm sure there'll be highs and lows throughout that process as well. But during this, being able to integrate yourself into the team and be able to work with all of that, how does that work for the creative side?
Well, firstly, from a business side, and talk about culture, values, beliefs, purposes, we felt when we were working with Woodfines and we met Rebecca and the team, the wider team, this was someone we could work with and we could add real value to, and that's really, really important to us.
Yeah.
We don't like to get involved in a project where we think we can influence it to a certain point and then decisions will be made that don't then inform where the creative might go. So we felt like really like-minded around that table, even at pitch stage, which kind of validated and qualified that actually this is going to be a success. And then the eureka moment for us really on the creative side was when we were presenting mood boards. So we'd been through the strategic phase. We'd almost had everything signed off there. And we were essentially then presenting what this could look like and live and breathe.
Yeah.
It wasn't a final concept, but it was mood boards. So it was color palettes, it was typography, it was textures. It was kind of what could this world look like around this brand? And then when we got significant positive feedback from the entire group on one route, that's when we got really, really excited that actually that's almost confirmed that we are on the same page, we are aligned. And
it must have been good because, as literally as you said, mood boards, your smile went from here to about there.
Yeah, because I remember it because my colleague Kerry and I, when we were actually shown the sort of finished proposal, if you like, we sort of tested the water first before we took it to senior management, and we were both sort of, oh wow, okay, that's a bit different, like it. And then we went away and we both literally overnight, I'm not joking, the next morning we both texted each other saying, that's amazing, love it, absolutely love it. And it has been that sort of impact on anyone that we've shown. At first they've sort of said, oh, okay, wow, yeah, really different. And then quite often come back and said, yeah, I love it. I can really see why this is going to work. It was, good. One of those high moments.
And again, the eureka moment or a high moment as well, that having that feedback back from the client for the work that you've...
It's why we do what we do.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And it actually was great for the lead creative to be involved in those conversations as well and actually get that feedback direct.
Yeah.
That's really... It's really important and valuable to the team as well, because then the next stage, it just means they're really informed, and then it makes that whole process a lot smoother.
Yeah, because you're considering the culture, and the vision of Woodfines, but then the culture of everybody at Stratos to be able to do that, to be able to then get that feedback, it kicks a team to the next level, I imagine, right? They've got that feel-good feeling, the same as internally for you. It just sounds like it's all...
It could have gone, I mean...
Something's got to have gone wrong.
It could have gone wrong.
No. I'm afraid
that. Because, again, one of the reasons we worked with Stratos and Indirect is, particularly Stratos, they don't tend to focus on professional services so much, and we did want a very different point of view, perspective, and so they've been very clever in giving us something which is very professional and slick, but has a bit more of a creative and warm feel about it, which we felt was really important for us as a firm, that sort of approachability, and we think they've managed to bring that because of their experience, if you like, in different fields, in different creative fields.
Yeah, and that's what keeps the team really engaged and inspired, working across multiple sectors. There are a lot of agencies, digital creative brand, that do hone in on certain sectors, and I'm sure there's reasons for that, but we love the fact we can offer a diverse portfolio of clients to work with. Every day's a different day, and it means we can't cross-pollinate ideas into other areas as well, and it's exactly what Rebecca was describing there, humanising the brand and bringing other assets to the brand that perhaps some agencies that do hone in on certain sectors may think the same way for all kind of businesses in that sector.
So I think it's really enlightening because, as I said at the beginning there, you've got people that are scared to rebrand. You've got people that you may have spoke to 2-3 years ago about rebranding, but when you talk through the process and how well you've worked together on it, it's got to put people at ease and go, right, this is the right time for us to do it. Because, and again, I don't know how many times I've said this on our podcast, but the relationship that you have with people makes it a hell of a lot better, right? The people within the business, the people that you've been instilling your faith, your trust into, to be able to do it.
Well, we're selling, as a business, we're a firm of solicitors, we are selling relationships at the end of the day. Of course, we are giving expert legal advice, but it is about the rapport and relationship as well. You're going to want to come back to us because we have that. And again, these guys working across different sectors can talk to us more about how our audience needs to relate to us, not just other solicitors, if you like. So that was really important to us as well.
To be able to bring that in.
Yeah.
So the rebrand, the everything's nailed on, and talk about the next steps on the rebrand journey. If you can, where are you now? What's to come? And then what does that
So we're starting
like?
to roll out the rebrand, obviously. So the style is going to be rolling out soon, followed by the website will be another big aspect of it, and obviously the offices are all going to be undergoing rebrand as well, which I'm very excited about. And then it doesn't stop there; it'll continue evolving. I mean, as you know, with websites, we'll be continually evolving the content and reassessing and relooking at it as we move forward. It's not going to stop there. We're going to be doing, a lot more content for the site. It's not going to be as static, and that's quite exciting. Our advertising has really been sort of shaped up as well. Everything we've had a look at every aspect within the marketing mix,
and doubling down and seeing it through.
Yeah.
In your experience as well, Martin, again, without saying the word refreshing far too many times, there's so many people that have gone through a process, and to make it simple, they've got their website, they've got their brand, done.
And it stops,
And it stops. So how refreshing is that for you as a creative to hear that journey? That's where we're carrying on. That's where we're going to evolve.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, and
it's a jump off point.
Yeah, and we're all around measurement, reporting, analysing, stress testing, A and B. We have to keep moving forward. We have to keep looking at what else is around us, being considerate, being curious about the brand. And there are going to be things curveballs that are thrown at a brand for different reasons, and there's going to be other elements that might be required at different times. It might be an event, or it might be a thought leadership piece, it may be a marketing strategy, whatever it is. It can't stop there. And I think the more we can have informed decisions on where we want to take the next wave of the brand is just as important as creating it.
That's brilliant. Great answer. Really, really good. So, advice-wise for people, because again, we're all about giving people information and helping them in their journey. People that are holding back on not doing a rebrand.
Be brave.
Be brave.
Be brave. Be bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do your homework. Get the right people in. Make sure that chemistry is right. Working with the right people. Be very clear on what it is that you want as well, because otherwise they can't deliver if you're not clear on what it is you need and what you want and why you're doing it as well. So yes, have a very strong purpose to why you want to rebrand. Like I say, it wasn't just something that was plucked out of the sky because it's a nice thing to do. I mean, me and Kerry and the team have thoroughly enjoyed doing this process, but it was long overdue. It was very needed. Be brave.
If you mind,
that
as well.
Pretty much, definitely echo that. Do it for the right reasons as well. There may be, it may be a new product that's being launched. There may be a slightly changed shift in market segmentation. There might be different audience you're trying to appeal to, but do it for the right reasons. But make sure you take informed decisions throughout the whole process, and you're not just creating something that looks great because you think it looks great. It has to reach the audience, has to speak to them. They need to hear it. They need to see it.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, I think that's pretty much rounded off everything on that rebrand. It's gone. The podcast's gone as well as what the rebrand sounds and the relationship here. But I think it's great. I was talking to a couple of clients the other day, and they said about one of the things of All Things Business is it's not only a marketing publication. It's about putting people together, keeping business local, supporting the communities of what you're in. And I think this one here, albeit it's come around in that circle to meet you there at the end, is a great example of staying local and working with people. So supporting
local. Yeah,
definitely. So thank you. I wish you nothing but luck in the future.
Thanks, Fraser.
And can't wait to see it in All Things Business as well.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.